It's a money grab. It's a money grab for energy, for petrol, for oil, gas, electricity. It's a money grab for food. It's a money grab for public services. It's a money grab for bankers and debt. It's really dark outside. It's really dark outside. And for a lot of people, it's going to be dark inside. These energy companies are making massive profits. Massive. Paid out 7 billion in dividends. And they are still, like the Qataris are selling energy to us. They own the Shard, they own Harrods, they own Sainsbury's, Barclays. The Chinese are going to build our nuclear plants. The banks, Deutsche Bank and Goldman Sachs, they're buying oil. How much oil do they need? They're buying it and selling it on. Centrica are saying it's the price in the wholesale market. They're controlling the market, Centrica. They're selling to British Gas. They made billions in the first quarter this year. They are creaming it. They have so much money. There is so much money slushing around, and they put the prices up. They ain't interested in renewables. They say we're investing in green. They do fuck all. They ain't investing in green. They're buying things up. Do you know how many things that they've actually suppressed that people have invented? Do you know renewables and new technologies, and they don't want that. Are you fucking mad? Are you mad? Can you imagine if they put a solar panel on every single roof in the entire country? Imagine that. Free energy from the sun. The sun is a yellow dwarf. It's a yellow fucking dwarf. It's a ball of fucking fire. We could harness. Do you know there's more energy comes out from the sun in 1 fucking second than man has used his entire life? Can you imagine that? They could harness that energy, and we would. But you can't tax free energy. You can't tax free energy. But that's why they do. They want to control the means of production. They like war. They know when there's a war, it's good for business. They go in countries. They go in Nigeria. They go in Iraq. They go in Syria. They go wherever they want. And there's grabs for minerals. And what they do, like in Iraq, they go and they get the Ramallah oil field and they start pumping it out. But that costs money. Do you understand that? The means of production, mining, drilling, fracking, and fucking Peter Oborne on BBC Question Time, he said he wants to see fracking over the entire fucking country. He said because it will give us energy. Why isn't he screaming for solar energy? Because it's free and it would stop the means of production. Can you imagine just once you put solar panels, but even say I don't like fucking solar panels, fucking Chucky, you're gonna do it with a fucking solar panel. They're ugly. They invent a fucking roof that's beautiful. Yeah, you have the technology, the resources, the fucking art, the architects. Make a roof that harnesses the sun. Can you imagine that? And that would be it. That would be it for the rest of your life. The energy would just come directly for the sun. But they don't want that. They want wars, they want drilling, they want fracking. Because it costs money. And because it costs money, they make money. And that's the GDP, that's the growth. Let's do more drilling. Let's get more oil. Let's kill some more fucking... Let's go out and kill families, build infrastructure, drilling, mining. That's the war machine. Energy companies, plus the government, plus the Queen, plus the fucking... the banks, plus the media equals the war machine. You look at the top 100 companies in the world... Oil and gas, 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 oil and gas. They're all energy companies. Look where the wealth is. The Russian oligarchs in the Middle East, in the Qatar, in the House of Sauds, and the places like China. They come in and they buy. They want that. And that's all the big companies of the world is selling gas and oil to heat you, to warm you, when it's free. It's fucking free. But if people invent things, they will stop it on the fucking... They will smash it out. Take cars. There is no way that you can't... Look at hybrid cars. You put a little bit of petrol in and then you can drive all the way to the fucking... around the planet. As long as you keep going, it charges itself. But they don't want that. Because if the government wanted to change something, they would make BMW, Audi, fucking Fords, they would make them produce 40%, 50%, 60% of your cars have to be hybrids. But they wouldn't do that. Because they need people to be addicted. They need the very life, the very human thing has to depend on oil. You have to suck it in like fucking heroin addicts. The only way you can get it is if you have wars, if you have death, if you have destruction. And the whole of human society is built on it. Everything. And that's how they got everybody. And people will die this winter. People with key meters are in fucking trouble. People on low wages, no wages. There is fucking poverty out there. In London, in Birmingham, in Manchester, everywhere. There is fuel poverty. There is people who can't afford to turn the heating on. Can you imagine that? And it should be free. But like all the other services, look at the Royal Mail, right? Apart selling off and profiting on the back of people's jobs, on people's lives, on their security, on their families, they sold it off and they're profiting from it. Do you know that they missed that 1.5 billion was missed on the share price, on selling it too cheap. That's just, they want to save 1.2 billion on welfare. So all these people that are being discriminated against, the disabled, the sick, people that can't get to work, that have been forced off of benefits, to say is 1.2 billion. They could have done it on the Royal Mail sale. Not that I want them to. Not that I fucking want them to. I want postmen to have security. I want postmen and women to have a fucking job. To be paid a fucking decent wage. Do you know what I mean? Capitalism. There's a book, London Hanged, and it talks about how years ago that they hang people they hang children for stealing a loaf of bread. And they would weigh it to see how much it... And that's what they're doing now. We have workhouses, we have food banks. We have people in debt for energy. And they want to frack more. They want to destroy the planet more. They want environmental fucking... They want chemicals in the ground. They ain't happy with destroying people's lives. They want to destroy the fucking environment. Energy companies are sick. They are a sickness. They are a dis-ease. They are greedy fuckers. Like the government. And the government's involved with them. And the media is as well. And your BBC and your Sky TV and your... going on about fucking, there is nothing. The Sun's saying switch provider. Don't put your kettle on. No, it's not about fucking, it's about the people fucking understanding that there's another way, that there's a better way, that these fuckers, they got you fighting and screaming and fucking trying to stand on each other's shoulders and kick each other fucking teeth in. And then Jeremy Hunt comes out and says we're not looking after like elderly people. We're not looking after... And Tristram Hunt on the BBC Question Time saying that he agrees with Mike. Can you imagine that a Labour Party endorses the privatisation through academisation of our schools, of our education, and the Labour Party endorse Ian Duncan Smith and say they're going to be worse? There has to be another way. People it has to start, even if it takes fucking years and decades. These people have to be held to account. These people have to be stopped. It needs to start one day soon.